Apparently, it's Jon Jones versus Thiago Santos in June instead of Stipe. So I'll just do a quick follow-up with that. I've been wanting to say since Jon Jones beat Gustafsson, he's been much more defensively minded. He's been really great at keeping range. He's been great at not doing anything wild or crazy. He's a much more mature fighter than the early Jon Jones. I think that perfectly suits this new era of 205er coming up. Against Anthony Smith never found a way in. He never found a way to negate the defense of Jon Jones. He never solved the puzzle. He was frustrated. He was outside the whole time, couldn't use his power. This new generation, who I would say Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, Johnny Walker, are all big, strong guys who have big power shots, who kind of leap from strange angles to deliver punishment. It's best to be defensively minded with those guys. It reminds me of almost a young Ali who was fast and could throw lightning combinations, and an older Ali who had to outthink his hard-hitting opponents. Two different guys, if you study boxing history. Jon Jones, I think, is making the necessary adjustments to beat a new era of light heavyweights who are athletic and powerful and explosive, and doing the wild stuff he used to do early on in his career might not behoove him. It might not be a good idea to throw a spinning elbow against a guy like Johnny Walker who throws spinning, flying stuff himself. You're going to get caught eventually. That's just mathematically. If you keep taking risks, eventually it's not going to pan out for you. The Jon Jones we saw against Alexander Gustafsson and against Anthony Smith is a tactical, more patient, more methodical, more defensively minded fighter than the guy we saw wreck everyone in his first run at 205. So, to me, I think he's better suited now to take on this next crop. He's fighting a bit smarter. He's not fighting like a young guy. He's not fighting like the most explosive guy on the block, because he's taking on guys who are explosive, who are powerful. I'm not going to play a game with these guys. I'm going to set up my defense, set up my perimeter, guard it well, and make them come to me. Now, it's led to, obviously, against Anthony Smith, ended up going the distance, had a chance to finish, couldn't quite do it. We might not see the blazing water cooler moment finishes we saw earlier on in his career, but I think he lasts a lot longer. I think he's much more frustrating to fight. I think it's harder for these guys to find a way in with the new style Jon Jones is bringing. So that's my thought on him fighting Thiago Santos or Johnny Walker, any of this new crop at 205, is they got to find a way in now. He's not going to do something wild and crazy like he did a few years ago, relying on his explosiveness and his funky angles. Guys have tape on him now. They know what he does. Not easy to stop, but you can maybe look for those moments of Jon Jones' explosiveness, his unpredictability. The longer you're in the game, by definition, you get more predictable because guys have more tape on you. As unpredictable as you want to be, it's hard to come up with a new plan every single time. So this defensively minded, more tactical, more cautious Jon Jones, I believe, might not be as exciting or dangerous, but even harder to beat than the young, athletic, risk-taking Jon Jones that blew everybody away. So that's my thoughts on him versus Santos, should that happen. Of course, I'll break it down as it gets closer toward the weigh-in and all that stuff, but it came out as I was releasing my last video, so might as well come up with a follow-up, and that's what I think about it. So enjoy.